They're going to use gold as a strategic asset, as a reserve asset. And again, the dollar or the peso or the yuan or the Swiss franc or the euro can be used for liquidity when you want to buy something, and hopefully a much higher valuation vis-a-vis gold. It just makes so much common sense. And gold doesn't have to go up in a straight line to save its purchasing power, hold its value far better than any fiat money. And since 1971, all the major currencies of the world have lost greater than 95% of their purchasing power against gold. That should be a headline. That should be discussed everywhere. And yet all you'll hear in the news or the media is, well, you know, in 2013 and 2015, gold lost 28% or 12%, you know. So gold's not a safe asset. Oh, come on. I mean, come on. The overall trend is so obvious. I mean, Bitcoin, with all due respect, has had 80% or higher drawdowns. That's volatility. Its standard deviation is 155%. You can say whatever you want about Bitcoin. It's certainly a better annualized return than gold, but its standard deviation is off the charts. It's not a store of value. It is a XXX levered, triple Q levered tech stock. And again, great, speculate as you will. I've certainly speculated in riskier stocks than Bitcoin, but don't consider that a reserve asset. Don't consider that a store of value now or anytime in the future. But gold is, which is why, again, with all due respect to cryptos or digital gold, central banks aren't buying digital gold. They're buying physical gold. And I'm not a fan of central banks, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but look what they're doing, and there's a reason for it. They're following that hockey puck in the new direction, and a lot of Western investors aren't seeing it, or frankly don't care, because they'd rather chase rate of return in NVIDIA and assume that that's a better store of value or a better way to fight against inflation or a better way to get rich. That's a personal choice for everyone to make. For me, at this market, at this top, I still believe in what my father and grandfather taught me: buy low and sell high. What we're seeing is everyone doing the opposite. I would not be chasing these tops with any vigor, certainly not with any leverage and any margin accounts. But yeah, they can still go higher, but their nominal returns will be eaten alive by their real returns. And I think that's the elephant in the room that most people just don't want to see. They just don't want to see it.
Yep. So Matt, thanks so much for your time today. You know, we've gone so many different places, and as you said, unfortunately, I think we have to talk tens of hours to get to the bottom of all these things. Maybe one day we'll have to do them. But my last question is, what is one message you'd like people to take away from our conversation?
Same message I always say. Again, I really mean this sincerely. You don't have to take my view on precious metals. You don't. We're on Bitcoin or anything else. Like I said, I think, you know, there's something, as John Kennedy said, immoral about abandoning your own judgment. I really invite people to understand sound money and take their own opinions on it, understand central bank policy, get informed. But if you're going to stick to your own judgment, just make that judgment more informed. I disagree a lot with Brent Johnson on the direction of the DXY, but he has a lot of strong points, and he could be right. You should challenge my view on the dollar with someone like Brent Johnson. You should challenge my view on Bitcoin. I'd like to spend hours talking about Bitcoin versus gold, not because I'm mocking it, but you know, Larry Lepard, someone whose macro view I respect and whose Bitcoin view has a lot of complaint arguments. It's very different than mine. My point is only whether it's Brent Johnson or Larry Lepard, Grant Williams or me or Ronnie Sturfeld talking about gold, or you could take, you know, stock market bulls and stock market bears. My advice is to get informed and look at both sides of every argument, not just mine. I am admittedly very, very negative and admittedly very contrarian, but that's done well for me. But I'm not asking people to just look at my worldview. I am saying get a balanced view, though. Challenge yourself.